Welcome to the 290 Mo podcast. I appreciate your time. If you could introduce yourself and my viewers and listeners.
All right. What's up, y'all? I'm Smokey Smothers. Just out here trying to make something shake. Nah.
Okay, for sure, for sure. That's all you can do. So we're gonna start from the top. We're gonna try to get as much as a story as we can in this little time. So starting from the top, you know what I'm saying? Where did you start? Where did you get your start? Where you grew up? You know what I'm saying? Where you from?
Okay. I'm from Kenosha, Wisconsin. My mom is from Chicago. You know, I spent a lot of summers out here, and I really feel like Chicago influenced a lot of my sound. My granddaddy was a blues musician out here back in
Mm-hmm.
the day, and um, played with Muddy Waters, wrote for Muddy Waters, played with Howlin' Wolf, and I feel like that's just really deeply rooted in my music. I've been told I got like a southern feel to some of my songs, and I really just feel like that's where it came from. But I feel like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's really where I can't even say like where I really first started with music, because I mean I've been messing around with instruments since I was like 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think around 6 I started testing out what I sound like singing and just freestyling at as a
Facts.
kid.
Right, right.
Then I started writing as I got older. I dropped my first song when I was like 9 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it
Okay.
all started.
That's dope. That's dope. What I want to ask you is about the differences between Kenosha and Chicago. You know what I'm saying? What are some of the big differences? And if I'm not mistaken, is Kenosha where the Dylan Roof situation happened at?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the big differences from Kenosha and Chicago?
Um, I mean, Kenosha, clearly it's a small city, but a lot of people call it Little Chicago, which, I mean, if you've really been in Chicago, I wouldn't necessarily say that, but a lot of people from Chicago migrated to Kenosha,
Mm-hmm.
including like people like my mom. So it's like a lot of people from Kenosha have roots in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in that way, there's some things that we got to really grow up with that were more so Chicago things. Like I grew up seeing people footworking and shit like that. Certain slang, you know, kind of carried over to my city because of that.
Mm-hmm. So growing up in Kenosha, you know what I'm saying, I've had, you know what I'm saying, my experiences being from Chicago, then going other places, not that far, but like suburbs around the city where just being, you know what I'm saying, from the city or knowing having direct roots to the city, it comes with like a certain clout. Is that like the situation in Kenosha, or is it just like it's normal?
I say that's probably a thing when you get a little deeper into Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
People be, I'm from Chicago, I'm from Chicago. 9 times out of 10, you find out they really ain't. They just was born there. But nah, in Kenosha, not really, because a lot of them that even if they did grow up out here and in Kenosha, they kind of represent both cities. They don't really try to, push too hard that they from Chicago or nothing like that. But it's always all love. I say we like a little sister city to Chicago for sure.
Okay, okay, and I want to ask you before we leave off Kenosha, like I mentioned earlier, I know there's a lot of social unrest up there after the situation with the where a few people lost their lives. Were you around? Did you have anybody who was affected? You know what I'm saying, during those
Definitely.
times, or?
Yeah, I was actually in Atlanta when that happened. I was living out there for like 5 years, and when that happened, I was like, damn, I never thought I'd see some shit like that go down in Kenosha. But I definitely had some close friends of mine lose friends that they grew up with when that happened. So it definitely affected people I knew.
Mhm.
I know some business owners down that have businesses in the uptown area that thankfully didn't get affected as far as like people burning buildings down and shit like that. But it was that was a real heavy time for Kenosha, like for
Mhm.
sure.
Mhm.
It was weird seeing it like that.
Mhm. So, you know what I'm saying, we you spoke on social unrest, but I also want to ask you, is there before then that situation and after, was there ever any like racial like tension in Kenosha? Like even though Chicago is mixed and diverse, it's highly segregated. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah,
got your Chinatowns and certain areas where little village where, you know what I'm saying, the our Mexican brothers and sisters, you know what I'm
I
saying, are
feel
from.
that.
So, what's it like on the racial side up there?
I mean, Wisconsin as a whole, I hate to say it like this, but I gotta be real about my home. I feel like it's damn near like what people would expect from Alabama, but up north. Like it's pretty racist. Like it's pretty racist. But I mean, I feel like Kenosha's always been kind of diverse as far as like when I grew up. My neighborhood wasn't just all black folks or all white folks or all of this, all that. It was like a mixture of everybody, but it was more so like segregation in terms of class.
Hmm.
Like,
Right.
you grew up in the uptown area. You was probably a little, you wasn't doing all that hot, So I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, but clearly a lot of racism out there. I mean, and it's different now. Like, I mean, last time I went to Kenosha, it don't even look the same to me.
Mhm.
Like, it don't even feel like home for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So you'd consider both home, or is Kenosha home? Or?
I would, honestly. And I know a lot of people from Chicago be like, if you ain't from here, don't fucking say that. I don't ever tell somebody I'm from Chicago, but like I say it's my second home.
Mhm.
Because every summer vacation, I was here with my cousins, here with my granny, like taking in the city in a different way than some of the people I was growing up back home with.
Mhm.
I got a friend that I grew up with in Kenosha in elementary school. Shout out Neil.
Shout out.
That he used to say like, you the only person from Kenosha that ain't never scared to come out here and visit me. I'm like, cause it's home. I mean,
Hmm.
it's home.
For sure, for sure. So coming up, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about your aspirations. Like coming up, what did you know what I'm saying, want to be? What did you believe you would be? You know what I'm saying? And if it was anything from a doctor, lawyer, teacher, you know what I'm saying? Coming up, when they told you could be anything you could be, what did you envision yourself doing?
This.
Oh yeah.
This is always what I wanted to do for as long as I can remember. But there was a point in time in like middle school, I think, where I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a psychologist. Like I gotta have a backup plan.
Hmm.
So I was like, psychology was gonna be my thing, but that didn't end up happening, and it ended up being film.
Hmm. You talked about earlier about the music diversity that impacted your life coming up and all the connections you had. But as a youth coming up, who were your specific musical influence? Like who was you listening to on your MP3 player? And or I don't know if you that old, but
Yeah,
know
oh
what I'm
yeah, I
saying?
had an iPod shuffle.
Okay, who was you listening to and inspired then coming up?
Man,
Especially knowing that this is what you wanted to do.
Aaliyah, that's my like favorite artist of all time. Facts. I grew up listening to so much stuff because like my mom was born in the 50s.
Hmm.
She a little older than the rest of my friends' mamas, so I got to hear a lot of oldies. My stepdaddy had a lot of reggae in his musical taste, funk.
Hmm.
But really, yeah, Aaliyah. I listened to a lot of Biggie growing up, a lot of Wu-Tang, Tribe Called Quest. Like,
What you know about Check the Mic? What
oh yeah. What?
you know about that?
Like, yeah, I definitely grew up a hip hop head, but like a R&B head first and foremost, for sure.
Mhm.
Which is crazy. I always tell people I'm a rapper, but I don't listen to a whole lot of rap. R&B all day.
Mhm.
But as I got older, Kanye became a huge influence of mine. Ludacris, Timbaland, as far as like the beats, because I make beats.
Mhm.
He's always been a heavy influence of mine, for sure.
So, what was your parents' response? Like you mentioned them being older. So, what was their response to what I'm saying? Them playing the funk and the oldies. Now you coming in with the Ludas and the move,
Oh
bitch.
man,
Like,
my mama. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. My mom is really diverse when it comes to music. Like she even now, like I ain't. This is gonna trip y'all. My mama put me on the Gucci Mane.
what? That's probably the first
That,
time that's
"Is
ever
you
been said on
rolling?"
the internet.
Bitch, I might be. When I first heard that, my mama was playing it. So it's like,
That's probably the first time that ever been said on the internet.
yeah,
My
like
mama put me on
nah.
some Gucci.
My mama put me on the Gucci Mane. I'm pretty sure one of my brothers put her onto him, but like, yeah, that first time I heard him, it was because she was playing him in the house, and I was like,
In Kenosha, Wisconsin.
well, this was by this time I was in Eau Claire for high school and middle school. So
What's so clear?
man, 4.5 hours northwest, like damn near in Minneapolis,
Mm-hmm.
about an hour away from Minneapolis. So like that's even worse. Look, that's a there ain't no place to be raising black kids. I'm sorry. Nah, it's not.
That's good, especially
But
that you know. So, was it? Is it rough? You know what I'm saying? Being an artist and coming up in these situations. Do you feel like these situations hindered your creativity in any way, or helped it?
I feel like it kind of did hinder it a little bit because a lot of people like especially up there, we didn't have no hip hop station. I grew up with V100, or coming out here and hearing other stations, but like up there, when I moved up there, this radio station, the main one was like mostly pop music. So I was like, damn, what the hell? Like, and I feel like people like my older brother, my manager Rio, well, one of my managers, he definitely helped the hip hop scene up in Eau Claire get a boost, like get his first little roll off the ground, because he was managing like rappers and stuff and doing shows, setting up comedy and hip hop shows and stuff. So it was like I feel like he's a pioneer in that for sure for that city. And now Eau Claire has a nice little music scene, but at first, man, it's kind of crazy being a rapper in that environment.
Right.
Everybody's like, rapper? Oh hell no!
Like what?
Right.
So you talked about, you know what I'm saying, always knowing that this is what you wanted to do and how music always played a role in your life. So with that being said, do you remember the first time creating music, like the first time in the studio? And if you do, could you walk us through that?
Oh yeah, it was one summer. My brother. This was right after fourth grade. The summer after fourth grade, my brother came and got me for a few months or whatever. Like he used to come and get me, take me to Eau Claire. I stayed at his house for a while. He had a studio. This was when he was managing other artists. He had a studio in an office building up there, and I was just so like starry eyed, like, oh my god, what? This is cool. I want to make a song. So we sat in his house. He helped me write my song, which is crazy. He ain't no songwriter at all, but like he helped me come up with my bars, helped me like figure out a name for myself, which at the time was Lil Bobcat.
Little Bobcat. What the hell? We ain't feel like just
Check
pass that over. So go ahead, explain.
Check it out. Like my fourth grade school, which has been shut down for years now in Kenosha, Bain Elementary School. The mascot was a bobcat, and that was like my favorite school to go to. That's the first time I ever had a black teacher. Shout out Mrs. George.
Shout out.
So I was like, I want to go with that. I'm gonna be Lil Bobcat, Lil BC, whatever. And that was the song. I still remember the song too. But like it was a cool experience getting to go to the studio and like record, and we did a little video, like just set the camera up and let me rap in front of the video after we recorded the song. It was cool. I thought I'm finna be like Lil Bow Wow. I'm finna be famous. Let me it was real, man. That was probably the coolest experience I had as a kid.
That's dope. So did you hit the ground running after that? Did you take a break? Like
Nah.
what was it like after that? Was this like, yeah, this is what I need to do? Did you start scheduling time and blueprint projects? Or talk to me about after, you know what I'm saying, you get to the studio and you know this is what you want to do.
After that, I went through probably 50 different names. I still would write, but I didn't get to record for real. Eventually, my brother had got rid of the studio, but when I moved to Eau Claire, they gave me some of the equipment they had, which this is going to age me. But we had the 4-track Tascam cassette recorder, little board like this big. And then he gave me a drum machine, so I make my little beats, and then I record myself on the little cassette.
You was doing it all.
Yeah, like crazy.
Rapper / engineer. I ain't see that on your profile.
Oh yeah. But like I definitely I didn't release no projects again up until high school. But I still always would write, record songs, and just feel myself out, try to build my own style. And shit like that. Sometimes I just remix songs. But nah, that was a time. I think when Kanye came out though, that's when I really started like taking music like fully serious. Like, okay, now I gotta make a project. Now I gotta do this and do that. And then me and my cousin James, aka Mr. Greatworks, we started doing music together. Came out with our little first mixtape, The Hustle, Volume 1. Yeah.
So you touched a little bit on your creative process, but if you can delve into that a little bit more. So are you strictly a writer? I know you make beats, so I'm pretty sure you're used to having the equipment in front of you. So do you punch in and out? Do you freestyle? What's it like creating?
Lately, well, back when I was a kid, I used to just try to run through the verse, like run through it. But now that I'm older and I've got more experience, I definitely punch in, especially on certain tracks where I'm rapping fast, or because I got asthma, I gotta be able to maneuver a little bit. But sometimes, a lot of times, my songs start off as lyrics first. There may be times where I'm making a beat and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep this one for myself. But like a lot of the times, it's just me coming up with the idea of a song first. Like I'll just get a bar idea in my head and just write it, and then I'll find a beat for it later on.
Mm-hmm.
Or if one of my peers send me a beat, I'll listen to it and I'll get to writing. But like my writing process isn't like so quick. Sometimes it might take me some days, it might take me weeks to finish a song. But there's other times like when Herb Dean brought me to the studio and I didn't have my verse all the way done and I sat there and had to pump the rest of it out in like an hour and it came out fucking amazing. But like I don't usually do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, like I said, I usually like really sit down and like structure my songs and think about what I'm saying. I'm really not much of a freestyler. I ain't gonna lie. I might can do some little funny shit when I'm drunk or something, but
There you go. Nah.
yeah, that's about it.
I'll be freestyling too now.
Yeah, you saying anything and you don't care. Like,
Right.
but when I'm sober, I'll be like, bro, I can't. I gotta write.
Right, for sure, for sure. And just on the creative process, on the production and engineering side, when you make your own music, do you primarily work on your own, record on your own music, or do you still purchase music from other producers, or do you keep it strictly in the family? What's that like, being as though you can make your own beats?
I like to, especially like at first, I was strictly mostly rapping on my own beats or like jacking industry beats for mixtapes and stuff. But I really nowadays I like to get beats from other people because it helps me expand a little bit, like step outside of a certain sound. Because I know my beats, even though I can make a lot of different shit, it's like I can still put myself in a box like that a little bit. So I love getting beats from other people. A lot of my producer friends are just throw me beats. I have purchased beats from people before, but like people like Chinaman, people like Josiah the Prince, they've just here you go, here go a whole beat pack. Like, do your thing. So I get love a lot like that.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
So, and I say a lot about your character too, because that's valuable. People, you know what I'm saying, people music. So,
Yeah.
you mentioned being in the studio with Herb Dean and being under a little bit of pressure. So,
Yeah.
what I want to ask you, what's it like working with other artists? Is that something you prefer not to do? Is it something you cool with? Is it something you rather do if it's somebody like within your circle? What's it like working with other artists overall?
Man, I love working with other people. Whether we get in the studio together or whether we just in two different states and we write, we tell each other what we writing and we record and whatever, make it work. I love it. I love collaborating with other people. I feel like that's some of my best music, honestly, because it brings out a different side of me. Like, this person might have a whole concept for a song that I would have never thought of, or like a beat that I would have never thought to use. I'll rap over anything. I don't give a damn what it is. I remember hearing, not to like digress, but like I heard Busy Bone say one time that he was like, I'll do a pop track. He was like, I did a pop track before. And like everybody was like, I don't want to do that. He did it. And I'm like, that's how I am. I don't give a damn what it is. You got a country song, whatever. I'm rapping on it.
Now, with that mindset, is it strictly art or is it competition?
It's art. Like, I just love music, so it's like, shit, whatever I can do to do something different, I'm cool with it. I love it.
Okay, for sure. When you're making a song, what's the mindset? Is it do you have like your fans in mind? Like, I need a song for the radio, I need a song for the club, I need a song for the ladies, I need a song for the gas, or is it just always a vibe when you?
It's just always a vibe. Like, anything can come out, anything can happen. Now, I will say, like, sometimes I might be making a beat, and like I said, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to keep this for myself. And I already know where I'm going with it while I'm making the beat. But, like, me and Maya's song, Not a Drill, I already knew what I'm like, as I'm making the beat, I think I was making the beat for her. Or I was specifically making it for us to collaborate on, and I already knew, I'm like, yeah, this going to be one of them ones. This is a club banger, basically, like... Cool, but a lot of the times it's really just a vibe. I don't even really too much think real deep about who's gonna like it or what's this and what's that, because my demographic of fans is 18 to 60. Like,
Hmm.
I make music for everybody for real.
For sure. That's dope. That's dope. I want to also know about performing. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that artists have to grow into. It develops over time. It changes. What was that like for you? Was that something that it was easy jumping into? Was you thrown up backstage your first time? What was that like?
I was nervous as hell, man. My first time on stage, I was 14, and it was at my middle school, my 8th grade talent show. It was me, my cousin Nene. I don't think James was a part of the group yet. It was just me, my cousin Nene, our friend Sophia, and our friend Buddha. And I literally wrote the whole song. I produced the whole song. And I just remember being back in the hallway while everybody else is rehearsing and doing their little stuff. I'm back there like, I'm finna perform in front of all these other kids. I was timid as a kid, so I was like, I don't even be talking to people for real. I'm finna get on stage. I was excited as hell, but I was so nervous.
Hmm.
And I got up there, and like I still have that shit on DVD at my mama's house. And I looked at it recently, and I'm like, I look nervous as hell. Like I'm just like rapping with my head down a little bit, kind of just walking around a little bit. But as I got older and started doing more shows, it took me till I moved to Atlanta to really fully like come out of my shell.
Hmm.
So, and now I just be going crazy.
What was it about the move specifically that made you? You know what I'm saying? Was it the environment, more stuff going on that you ain't had no choice?
The environment will bring it out of you. Yeah, Atlanta ain't gonna give you no choice because they're not gonna sit. Nobody's gonna be entertained by you just standing there
Right.
rapping at
Yeah.
them.
Hmm.
But like that definitely brought a lot out of me. And then when I moved to Atlanta, I started doing a lot of shows. Like the person I was working with out there had me like every chance she got, oh, we doing this open mic. You doing this, you doing so I feel like I got so much practice out there.
Hmm.
And like, yeah, being in that environment where motherfuckers is jumping around, dancing, and I'm like, okay, I gotta do something else.
Right. Just walk in front of you, start dancing.
Yeah, like
So what I want to also know about, and I know this is probably a broad question for you because you've been in so many different locales, but if you could give me your overall opinion on your peers in the industry that you're a part of, like the other artists that you see at the shows, at the podcasts, or at these events. You know what I'm saying? What's it like? Is it a welcoming camaraderie? Is it competitive? What's it like for you?
you know, this is a good question. Like, I can honestly say, in Wisconsin, it's a lot of camaraderie, but still a little, sometimes a little more competitive. Atlanta, straight competitive. That was my experience there. And in Chicago, it's like damn near everybody I meet turn into family. Like for real, like straight up. It's like out here, the support is crazy.
Hmm.
They ain't got to know you from nothing. Oh, you dope. You want to work? Hell yeah, let's go.
That's dope.
Like I love that shit.
That's dope. That's dope. With so many aspects being involved with the music industry, what's your favorite part about overall about what you do?
Man, my favorite part, shit.
If you had to pick one to do every day, from just writing to recording, from shows to podcasts, what would it be and why?
Them shows. Doing shows is like a high for me. Like that shit, it makes me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like the writing is fun, making the beats is fun, all that shit is cool. But like it's something about getting on that stage and like exchanging that energy with the people in the crowd. It makes me feel like a fucking magician. Like I'm moving the room. And that's what I do. I what's up? Like the energy could be booty as hell before I get on stage. I'm finna get on stage and y'all finna laugh. What's up? What we doing? Like I love that.
For sure.
It's my favorite part for real.
For sure. That's dope. Talk to me about some ways that you promote yourself as an artist. Like, how do you get your name and your music out to people who's probably never heard you or seen you before?
My brother likes to run a lot of ads. Like,
sure.
Get me in front of people's pages. They probably done seen me 50 times. Who the hell is this? And might have clicked on me.
Mm-hmm.
I like to network with other artists. Like, that goes back to the collaboration. I feel like that's easy. Like, you ain't really coming out of no money for real, but you getting in front of people that ain't never heard you, ain't never seen you before, and now you done got a whole new fan base because you messed with this person. I have been slacking on my social media, but that does help. Like when you're consistent,
Mm-hmm.
you start people will share your stuff more or see you more. So like they sharing their stuff, and somebody from their page might come in, whatever. But doing the shows is like probably my biggest outlet for that.
You know what I'm saying? With every career has its ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? When while doing music, have you ever found yourself discouraged? Like, you know what I'm saying? Fuck this shit. I'm finna go back to school to be a psychiatrist.
Man, I always like say I don't give a damn if I'm living in a cardboard box. I'm gonna be doing music. And like I have still had moments where I'm like, bro, maybe I shouldn't be rapping. Maybe I should just stick to doing beats, or maybe I should just focus on doing videography. And that also came from just people being in my ear too, like, oh man, I think this is more your thing. And then I'm like, hell no. I don't know. Sometimes it just take like you had your moments where you just like, I don't even want to do this shit. But then I hear a beat or I'll think of a line and I'm like, man, no, I'm gonna keep doing this shit. So, but no, it's definitely been plenty of times where I've been like, I'm good. I don't want to do this no more. Like, yeah.
Okay. Talk to me about your support system. Like we talked about moms and pops, but just overall, I talk to a lot of artists, and a common phrase I always hear is, my biggest fans is people I never met before, people I don't even know. So what's it like on the support side for you?
Man, that's facts. That's a big truth. That's literally how my team happened. Like for real. I think Melly did a review on my song Danger. So like back in 2020, 2021. And we kind of been jamming ever since, but like she definitely supported the hell out of me. She bought merch off my website. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. You buying merch? Oh, okay, cool.
That's how you know that. That's
Yeah,
like,
right,
no, it's
like,
real
damn,
right there. Spend that
that's
money
love.
on shorty.
Like, what? And then like from there, me moving here, meeting Maya Storm, meeting Herb Dean, like I would have never in a million years thought I'm finna move to Chicago and get a team. Like
Was
these
that
motherfuckers fuck with me just cause I'm me. Like
was that the goal? That's how you ended up, permanently in Chicago?
nah, I ended up here on some other shit.
Okay.
But like we'll get to that. But nah, like I don't know. But I will say this: my family is real supportive, especially my mom. Cause I mean, her daddy was a musician, so like off rip, when I told her I wanted to do music as a kid, she encouraged it. Like she did the best she could with what she had and tried to, facilitate certain things, make sure I had equipment I might have wanted within her means and shit like that. But my stepdaddy made sure I had a computer at all times, like just to make sure I could stay focused on what I want to do. So I'm like, I always have had a support system in my family, which is a big deal because a lot of people don't get that. Some people, they got their family like, you ain't gonna do this, you can't do that. From my cousins to my aunties to my uncles, my granny, my mama, my daddy, everybody's always been so supportive.
That's what's
like
up.
that's real. But like I do get a lot of love from strangers too, and that shit feels good. Like knowing that you meet people. Man, biggest time I've had something like that happen, I performed at Apache Cafe for the bar exam in Atlanta.
A
And
bar exam? Like to be a lawyer?
no, it was a competition. Past the bar.
I
Past
prefer
the
they
mic or
turn
some
up
shit.
like that. Or
Yeah, no. No, but like they pretty much it's just a competition, open mic, people perform, the crowd chooses who they want the winner to be. I met people there that the people that won the competition was like, you should have won. Like that shit felt good. I'm like, damn, man, what? They was like, you had the crowd lit. I'm like, hey, that's love. Like just for somebody to they got the one up on you, but they still like, nah, that's you it. You her. Like, that's dope.
For sure. So a little earlier, I asked you about your favorite part. So what's your least favorite part? If you could take away anything about what you do, what would it be and why?
Damn, do I have a least favorite part? Like, I love this shit so much. I love the shit that'll give you a headache about it. Like, for real.
Yeah.
The business side of it, I can honestly say that might be a little, but like, even then, man, I love this shit so bad. I can't even say I have a least favorite part.
How do you operate, you know what I'm saying? Have you ever had to operate in an environment where the vibes was off? And if you did, you know what I'm saying, how do you overcome that?
Yeah, I've had a couple venues I did in Atlanta that like Man, you know when the crowd just like looks just what you finna do, and then you get up there trying to entertain, and they still like, like just dead energy. I just do my thing still, regardless. You know, find a few people in the crowd that's actually kind of like there to see a show
Hmm.
and just rock with it. But like, oh yeah, I try not to let it move me. I feel like I'm supposed to move the room. Y'all could be doing whatever y'all want to do. You could be sitting there with the stank face, all of that. I'm finna do my thing, and you gonna love it whether you say it or not.
For sure, for sure. Another thing I want to ask you about, like, do you pay attention to what a song does after it is put out? Like, do you pay attention to the analytics or who's listening and where? And if you do, is there a certain number that you're looking for? Or are you just looking for any minute progress? What's it like when you go pull them numbers up?
I definitely pay attention to what it's doing, especially like within that first 2 week or two of dropping something. I try to pay attention to what my top songs end up being, so I know like what to perform when I tour or when I'm just out doing shows. I try to pay heavy attention to my demographic, especially where they are, because that's touring opportunities right
Facts.
there. And then I'll try to like, okay, we'll take that information, I'll give it to my brother, and he'll use that for the ads,
Hmm.
type of deal. So that's pretty
Which
much.
is essential. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? What I want to know is, you know what I'm saying, you've been in the music since you were young, you know what I'm saying? Have you ever dealt with any label situations, management situations then, and what is your current situations now, if that's something that you want to talk about?
My brother's always been like my manager in the sense, but like I never got into getting a deal or nothing like that as a kid. My parents, they was open to stuff like that, but like even there was somebody out here. I ain't gonna say his name because I don't. But like there was somebody out here that wanted to bring me to Chicago and sign me and all this stuff, but like it just sound sketchy. They wanted me to come by myself. I was like 13, 14 years old. You know what I'm
I know
saying?
you ain't talking about Robert.
Hey, no, it wasn't Robert. It might have been somebody he knew for all I know, but it wasn't Robert as far as I know. My mama think it was.
Sure.
I'm like, nah, it might not have been. But no, it was. Hey, look, for real though. And I was just like, But like,
All
my
the
parents
clues was
feeling
adding
it.
up. I'm like, Chicago,
Like, wait a minute.
13. Hold on.
Like, this adding up to Robert Sylvester. No, look. Hell no. But no, like, I never really had to worry too much about that because my brother, first of all, my brother is like 14 years older than me. So he's always been like a second dad. So it's like I ain't never really had too much to worry about that too much. He always kept me in the right space, always made sure I was focused and, school first, whatever. So I didn't really have too much bad manager experiences and stuff like that because he's always been my manager. And now I got another manager who I love dearly, Melly Stars, which is crazy because my brother's the one who submitted my music to her. So, like, I don't know, it just all came full circle. Like, her being in Miami and me being in Atlanta somewhere, and then all of a sudden we both in Chicago. Now she, you know what I'm saying? Now she's facilitating things for me as well, and it's like it's beautiful. I love my team right now. Like, I done been a part of many teams, but like, man, these three people, I love them. I'll do anything for them, and I know it's the same way around.
And we'll kind of end on that note a little bit. So if you could, real quick, we're just gonna go over your team. You know what I'm saying, and what was about them. You can go into how y'all came together if you would like. But what I mainly want to know is what about each one specifically. You know what I'm saying is jumps out to you. Like, I know you got the feature with Maya. You was just in the studio with Dean, and we got Melly right here. So if you could, real quick, what's all these guys redeeming qualities? It's like you said, it's the best team. It's the
best team
Avengers.
ever,
They got the Avengers right here,
Hey,
man.
96 Bulls more so.
So what's going on to it? What's the team? What y'all got in store? All that good shit.
Man, I gotta say, we really the 96 Bulls. Like, she's Phil Jackson. I'm Dennis Rodman. Maya is definitely Michael Jordan. And Herb Dean is Scottie Pippen. Like, we just... Man, we we coming for the ring. Like, oh, man. It's like, first of all, Melly is the type of person to stay on your ass, but in the way that you need it. Like, hey, you getting your shit done? Like, I say she's real good at that, and like real just good at keeping me motivated. Like she always speaks big life into all of us, as we do for each other. But like, um, that's a businesswoman if I ever met one. Like she about her business. We walk into a room together. She gonna make sure everybody know who the hell we are, what we there for, and everything. Like for facts. As far as like Herb, that motherfucker there, he makes me push my pen harder. Like listening to his music and fucking around and working with him, like that should have. It's like when Wu Tang was in the studio together and they trying to outright each other almost. Like not that I'll be trying to outright him, but like it makes me want to really write my best shit. Like I'm not finna half-ass this song. I'm finna really write. Like my bars gotta be hitting, cause what the fuck, I'm rapping with this dude. Like man, and as far as Maya is like a fucking superstar. Like she makes me want to really like focus, cause she's so fucking focused. Like everything is music, everything is business. What we doing? Like I don't know. It's like it's that energy. It's like it's not just somebody feeding off of one person. It's like we just all feed off of each other, and it just comes right back around. It's always reciprocated in the best of ways. Man, I can't even. I feel like I can't really pinpoint like one specific thing. I really feel like it's like all around, like being around people that's on beast mode and makes you want to be like that. Like, okay, cool, we doing this, we locked in. Like
you can't
let's
let them
go.
down. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like I ain't trying to let my team down. Like for real. Yeah, I value their opinions. I value like when they shit. Melly, you cool with it? You think this is cool? Like, man, yeah, for sure.
For sure, for sure. I got a couple more questions before I let you go. So, you spoke about being discouraged, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things that a lot of people go through, you know what I'm saying? But you overcome that, and that's dope. So, what overcoming that and still doing what you're doing, what's the goal at the end of the day? Like, what are you trying to obtain? Why do you continue to write? Why do you continue to record? Why are we sitting here at the podcast? Like, what's the goal at the end of the day?
Man, the goal is the legacy. Facts. Like, I feel like especially with me deciding to take on my grandfather's name and my granny giving like, yeah, use that. It's like I gotta do what he did times 10. Like, you know, I wanna keep that going. And then I got nieces and nephews under me. I got nephews that wanna rap. So it's like I wanna show them like, hey, it's really a life in this. You ain't gotta be in the streets, you ain't gotta do none of that other stuff. You can do what you like to do. I feel like eventually I'll probably slow down on the writing and stuff and really like focus on managing artists and things like that. But like, I really want to use my voice to uplift people and not like on no cliche shit like, oh, I'm making motivational music, because not all my music is motivational, but it's just something about being authentically yourself and having other people, especially kids, seeing that. Like, you want to do what I'm doing, you can do it. You ain't gotta sign no major deal. You ain't gotta. Don't let nobody tell you can't do shit. Like, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. That, like, honestly, my end goal is the legacy. Like, the legacy that comes with all of this. It's deeper than just rap for me.
And that's definitely honorable, because that's my goal too. You know what I'm saying? To leave a legacy, you know what I'm saying, for my kids and my family, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
also what I want to ask you is, I'm sitting here thinking about the question the whole motherfucking time. Oh, shorty, why you fucking talking? Oh, shorty. The fuck? I ain't gonna do that shit. I'm sitting here watching you talk, and I'm thinking about the question, so when she done, I can just ask her. Oh, shorty.
She said,
But it's
right.
cool though. It's cool though. It's cool though. It's cool though. So no, so before you get up out of it, before you go, you know what I'm saying, real quick. I remember. All right, so for anybody who may be watching this or listening for the first time and they look you up, give us a quick synopsis of the projects and the music that's out now. You know what I'm saying? When we look you up and we see you for the first time, what we gonna see? Give us the thoughts behind some of these projects that might be your favorite or.
Okay. Shit, you might find
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just playing. No, for
Don't
real,
look
'cause,
too
like
deep, y'all.
I've been releasing music since high school for real. So it's like
That's dope.
I still got stuff like the mixtape I said me and my cousin did. That's online, but I put that online later on in life just because I wanted it out there. I'm like, shit, y'all gonna hear where I started. But I started off real boom bappy. Like I started off real like all bars no hook type of music, you know. So you gonna see it's like you gonna go from that to me being somewhat of a conscious rapper to when I dropped after the prelude, which was 2015, I just started dropping whatever the hell I felt like making. I didn't try to put myself in a box no more. And that's when like eventually Live from Your Mom's Crib happened. And I was saying shit I ain't never said in songs like no. Shout out to Mike Terra. Just found out today he has had a project named Live from Your Mom's House.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, what? I didn't even heard of that before, but like it's crazy. Kindred spirits for sure. But like yeah, Live from Your Mom's Crib. I made club bangers. I was saying stuff in songs I ain't never said. Scooped your girl on the rebound. Took the bitch down. Gave me top like a freestyle. She a freak now. Like saying shit I never would have said 5 years before then, you know? Like so like it really oh man, the progression is crazy. And then that up until now, up until like my last project, Hollywood Smoke, real like rock star vibes. Just talking my shit, just party animal shit, like you know, real hype music. Like you're gonna be able to really like see what phases I was going through in life at the time, like through my music.
Okay, for sure, for sure. That's dope. I definitely appreciate your time. Before you go, is there anything you may be working on now that's coming up, coming out? You know what I'm saying? I know this video gonna come out. It's gonna be like some time travel shit, but
Right, they're gonna be like, whoa, okay.
but if there's anything, what are you working on now? Anything planned for the future? Any big plans? Any shows? You know what I'm saying? Anything like that?
Yeah, I'm actually doing Elgin Pride Fest this Saturday, which is cool. I've been trying to get in there for like the past 2 years. They finally hit me back like, yeah, we'll bring you out. Cool. I am working on somewhat of a mixtape. I call it a mixtape because it's gonna be nothing but samples, 90 samples on the beats, and gonna be called Love Notes. So, and the cover is gonna be crazy. I'm gonna actually, since this is coming out later, I'm gonna say this. For the cover art, it's gonna be Smokey, still me, but like in a way you ain't really seen me before. Like I'm gonna have a little makeup on. I might fuck around and wear a crop top. I'm still thinking about that. Like, you know, just a little soft, a little more feminine. After that though, I'm releasing a fall project called The Legacy, which is gonna have Josiah the Prince production on there, mine, some of Chinaman. So like that's gonna be really probably my biggest project so far because I'm really putting a lot into it, and I'm really trying to be strategic about it and how I want to drop it and everything.
For sure, for sure. That's dope. Well, I definitely appreciate your time. It's the most valuable thing we got.
Yes.
So before you get up out of here, if you could, let the people know where they can find you on social media, where they can find the music, where they can work with you, where they can grab a couple beats at, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So honestly, you're gonna have to hit me for the beats because I've been neglecting my beat stars for like about a year now.
And I
ain't gonna
be on BeatStars looking for them
It's beats
$20
up
hollers,
there.
you know what I'm saying?
Right, like it's beats up there, but
Okay.
there are a lot of collab beats. So, but still, yeah, you're gonna have to hit me directly for that. I like to do custom beats for people anyway, most of the time. Other than that, I got my website, IamSmokeySmothers.com. You can also find me on Instagram, I am Smokey Smothers. That's really where I dwell. I'm about to start getting back on Discord again and start doing my smoke sessions again. It's just something where I go live. And
I need a
chat with
Discord
people.
crash course, man.
You know, hey,
I
Discord,
got Discord
is the
open
shit.
and I'm still trying to figure that damn shit out.
Shout out to
man.
Minx Couture for really like putting me on to Discord. Honestly, that's my homie in the Bronx. She's dope. She's a blogger.
I'm gonna jump on there with you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna jump on there with you, and then y'all can like
kind of gauge and see how it works. Like,
teach me how to-
man, it's really cool, and like you can really build a little community on
Yeah.
there. That's why I'm like, I gotta get back on there, but I kind of fell off of it. But yeah, Discord, I'll keep y'all posted on that. Just follow me on Instagram. I am Smokey Smothers.
Definitely appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
In
I
a
appreciate
minute.
you having me.
Gang, Melly Stars in the cut.
Hey.